Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about believing in yourself as an actor. And I polled my group, one of my groups, or two of my, I don't know, I polled our community and I was asking actors, do you believe in yourself? And most actors, actually a big majority of actors, actually do believe in themselves, around 80%. And then around 20% of actors say they don't, or they've lost the belief and they lost that connection with themselves. And what I would like to address today is this topic, and I'll start by making a distinction. Most actors believe in themselves for where they are at. So you might believe in yourself thinking, yes, I have the talent that it takes. I believe that I'm a great actor or that I'm a good actor. I trust that. And you might hear a but that comes right after, because that's what happened in our community. I believe in myself, but the hard part is getting the auditions, is getting the jobs, is getting all the industry part. So, like, I've done my part, I believe in myself, but then the rest of it, that doesn't depend on me. And I'm kind of a victim at the effect. I'm at the effect of what comes towards me. And that's actually the topic that I would like to talk about, because there is a gap between believing in yourself for yourself, where am I at? I'm an actor and I believe in myself as being an actor. But there is a gap with believing in myself as a working actor. And that is what is going to make the whole difference for you. So what I would love for you to be able to do, because that is what is going to give you the power and the work, is to believe in yourself as a working actor, meaning, yes, I do believe that I will get those jobs and I will generate those auditions and I will get the work that I want and the roles that I want and the abundance that I want inside of this business. And it's a very different thing to say than I believe in myself as an actor. So I should poll my community again, and maybe let's do it now. You guys can answer in the comments. Okay, tell me how much you believe in yourself as an actor. And then tell me how much you believe in yourself as in being a working actor. So if we're going back to the gap, that gap is painful, right? Knowing that you can believe in yourself as an actor is one thing, but then not being able to believe in yourself as getting all the work that you want, that's where we're going to be doing some work. Because what you do want is to, one, feel extraordinary as an actor, feel completely free and purposeful and unmessable with, and like undeniable, and being like, completely on top of your game. And you want to be working, not just feeling incredible as an actor, but you want to make sure that you can actually share that extraordinary self and land the roles that you want, and do an incredible job with them so that you can impact the audience. There's two big beliefs that are preventing you from being able to believe in yourself as a successful working actor. And the first one has to do with you as an actor. So there is a belief, in most actors that in order to get those great jobs, in order to book, in order to get the work, there's really only one way to do it. Like, you get the audition and there's a right way to do the audition, or there's only one thing that they're looking for and you have to deliver it. Like, you have to be good at it. And that's one belief, that there is a certain way that you're supposed to be doing the audition and that you're supposed to be approaching the role, and a certain way that you're supposed to come into the room and show up. And if you believe that there is one way, basically you're F-U-C-K-E-D. For some reason, I didn't dare just say the whole word, but you all know which word I'm talking about. So when you're believing that there's a certain way that you need to do an audition or a role, you're cutting yourself off from your instinct. You're just aiming for a result, you're aiming for an outcome, and therefore you're not in the present moment. If you're not in the present moment, you're not alive. You're in your head, and none of that works, right? Then there's a second belief that is preventing you from believing in yourself as a working, successful actor. And that belief is that it's a hard industry. It's complicated. It's unfair. There's too many of us. Like, that you have no power in a way over how many jobs you can get, how many auditions you can get. That's like the industry. Like you're doing your part, but then, the jobs, well, that's the hard part, and there's nothing I can do about that. That is absolutely, absolutely, let me say it again, absolutely wrong. You absolutely, oh, 4 times. You absolutely have an impact. You have an impact on how the industry perceives you and how many jobs and opportunities come at you, right? So the reason why you have those beliefs that there's only one way to do it right, or there's only one way to be good, and well, the industry is not, knocking at my door every day and there's nothing I can do about that. The reason you have these beliefs is because you have been wired, you have been trained, you have been conditioned and educated to believe what you are told. Theme is definitely about belief today, right? So you haven't been raised to check in with yourself, to explore your instinct, to explore your impulses and your wisdom and your emotions. You have been raised to compress all of that true self of yours to make sure that you would do whatever is being told of or asked of you, right? From your parents who have asked you to repress all of your emotions, impulses, and instinct, whether they were, sadness, anger, or joy. Even in joy, you'll hear most parents say, come on, turn it down. That's, too much. So you've been told at home by your parents that it wasn't a great thing to explore all of that natural self that was coming out impulsively, which is your instinct, which is like your raw material for being an actor, right? What are you as an actor if you don't have an instinct? You've been asked to shut that down and to do as you were told, to feel as you were told, to behave as you were told, and to even think as you were told. And then you go to school, and then we pump up the volume of that. You're being conditioned to behave like everybody else, to sit down, to shut up, to do what you're told all day, to learn what you're told all day, to regurgitate what you're told all day, to really, really think and become a person that fits rather than a person that stands out, right? So to sum this up, you've been conditioned to do and to believe what you are told. There is a right way. There is a way that we do things and a way that we're not supposed to do things because it's bad and it's wrong, and you'll get consequences. So here comes the audition. And yes, of course you think there's a right way to do this. Of course you think there is a good way to show up and only one way to do it, because your whole entire life you have been told morning to evening that whatever is happening in there is not important. Figure out what people expect of you, and that's what's good. So that's what you do when you have an audition, right? And then you've also been told that there's authority all your life, that there is authority that you have nothing to, that you can't fight. Like, that's just the way it is. So now you have this industry that seems like it's a big industry and they do whatever they want and it's unfair. And you're kind of down for that because that's how you have been raised, with authority that you couldn't negotiate with. So unless you had consequences, of course. But so now you've been through all of that conditioning and now you're an artist, you're an actor, right? Or a singer, because I know there's different artists in our community, but most of you are actors, performers. And is art about, believing what you're told, or is art about actually you tell others and they listen, right? You being an artist is you finding your inner freedom in order to say, this is how I view this apple. This is how I view this scene. This is how I see this piece of music. This is how I see this picture that I'm taking. An artist is telling others how it is for them, not as an authority, but it's just inviting people to see the world through their perspective. Do you now see why we have a gap? You've been raised to do everything that you're told and to believe everything that you're told, and your job description is to do the opposite. And the day you do the opposite, the day you stop sitting in the small chair and take the big chair in the room and say, this is how I see it, and you don't wait people to tell you how you should see it, then the bookings come. Then the opportunities come, because there's an energy about you. Not just when you act, not just when you audition, but there is something about you, about your presence, that is unapologetic. There is something about you and your presence that is not worried about pleasing, about being inappropriate. There is something about you that is just fully alive, owned, complete, full, 100%. When you have that going on, I can promise you, and I can underline this 3 times. I'm not bullshitting you. I can promise you, when you can stand on your 2 feet, when you take that big chair, because it's about what you think, it's about what you feel, it's about your impulses, and you're not just waiting to be told what to do. You are the rare commodity in this business and this industry. You are the one exception. You are the only one. You are the rare, hot, sexy, extraordinary thing that people want to have. Even if you don't fit the part, they'll rewrite it for you. They'll give you another role. They'll give you another movie. They won't want to see you leave the room without a contract. The stories that we have in our community are ridiculous, of people getting series regulars without audition, without callback, people getting roles rewritten for them, getting roles recast for them, because if casting and directors sees you being fully yourself, being fully alive, being absolutely free and authentic and instinctive, they will hunt you down. They will send you more auditions that you can take. So the industry part is figured out because you are who you are, fully alive, owning yourself. Okay? So now what do you do to get there, right? You've been conditioned. The work to do is to unlearn your conditioning, to unlearn your learned behaviors so that you can go back to being your true self. When you are your true self, then everything else happens. Then it's organic. Then you are a magnet. Then whatever people call it, law of attraction or whatever, then you just become an energy that people want to have and want to be with and want to hang out with. Right? So that's the work that we do inside of our community. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Okay? Bye. Ciao.